Hello, my name is Yves Shu from Affluence Private Wealth. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the lessons I've learned from working with hundreds of doctors and dentists across Australia over the last 15 years or so. And look, I've worked with people across different age groups, different professions, but there's some key lessons that really come to the fore, across all of those healthcare practitioners. And so obviously my experience has given me an excellent insight into the main financial issues affecting, doctors and dentists in Australia. And it has also shown me that, some doctors are able to retire very comfortably, on their own terms and with the retirement income that they want. Whereas others, just struggle to retire at all and have to keep working. So in this video, I quickly just wanted to teach you 5 main lessons, the ones I've learned from working with your peers, so that you can benefit from my experience. And obviously, I'll publish some follow-up videos as well on each of those 5 lessons in more detail. But let's just get started with the first one. And probably the most important one for me, your home mortgage is a liability. And I know that sort of speaks for itself, but there's really a double meaning there to the word liability, because essentially a big mortgage becomes a real obstacle, a hindrance to achieving financial security and financial peace of mind. And I would say that the fact of your home loan is directly commensurate with the amount of financial stress that you have in your life. And so my rule of thumb has always been that if you can't pay off your mortgage comfortably in 10 to 15 years, you've probably borrowed too much. And I know that might sound controversial, but in reality, the longer it takes to pay off your mortgage, the more interest you're going to pay, and the less opportunities you have to save for retirement. On to number 2. In terms of retirement capital as a medical and healthcare professional, you will need at least $2 to $3 million in today's dollars to retire comfortably. Now, let's face it, you've been used to a good lifestyle during your active career. That's not going to change when you retire. I would say for at least the first 5 to 10 years, your lifestyle will be quite expensive. Now, as a minimum, based on my experience in working with people like yourself, you'll need to be able to generate retirement income of at least $100,000 per annum. And so depending on how your money is invested, that typically means you will need around $2 to $3 million in retirement capital. Now, there's a lot of variables there, obviously, so this is sort of a rough rule of thumb again, but it gives you an idea of what you need to accumulate, and probably good exercise to see where you're at right now and how you're going to get to that number. Lesson number 3, this is one that many people struggle with, and obviously a lot of doctors and dentists as well. Cash flow management is absolutely key. So what I mean by that is you have a high income, you pay a lot of tax, you have a good lifestyle. So for argument's sake, $500,000 of income means very little when you've got a big mortgage, you're paying private school fees, and you have a good lifestyle, take regular holidays, drive a nice car. So money disappears very quickly. So the only way to get some structure into that, to make savings for retirement, to pay off your mortgage early, is to establish a cash flow structure and setting up automatic savings plans for each of those goals. It could be, retirement savings, could be school fees, could be extra payments on the mortgage. Unless you do that, you're always going to live from paycheck to paycheck, regardless what income you're on. Lesson number 4, diversification. Okay, so there is no holy grail when it comes to investments. Instead, it makes a lot of sense to diversify, have different strategies working for you, and then let compounding do the rest over time. So typically the people that I see that have been, financially successful without taking much risk have, always maximized their super. They've had a share portfolio or, managed fund portfolio or exchange traded funds. They might have had an investment property that they've paid off over time. They've always had a cash buffer as well. They've always actively, diligently, in a disciplined way, just accumulated money over time. There's never been a one-off event that has made them wealthy or got them across the line. It's really the slow and steady approach, having a diversified portfolio and having multiple strategies working for you. Final lesson, the people that have done really well over time have typically sought advice, professional advice. And that makes sense, right? Because looking after your money can be time consuming, can be complicated. Often, there is a need for specialist advice because of your tax circumstances or because you want to set up a particular portfolio. And obviously, you understand the value of specialist advice because you probably refer patients or you might get patients referred to you because of your expertise and your knowledge. So why would it be any different for your finances? Your time is obviously valuable. You can't afford to make any costly financial mistakes. So it makes a lot of sense to outsource some of those financial decisions. So look, that's it in a nutshell. My 5 key takeaways from 15 years of working with hundreds of your peers across Australia. I'm always happy to take questions and organize a free meeting. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out, via email or via phone. And I'll be publishing more videos soon on this topic as well. Thank you very much.